Alright, morning everyone. So we got a pretty cold day today. You can see the sky, there's just no clouds. 7 degrees. So yeah, she's pretty cold. You saw me in that little music video clip there. We got that the other day because, I don't know, the boss wanted one. So she comes out here after work to sit down and watch the dogs play. So we got nowhere to sit unless she'd pull one of those chairs up. She used to pull the old chairs up from the old one, but she wanted a new one. These chairs aren't as comfortable, whatever. They're okay for sitting at a table if you've got a table to lean on in front of you, but just for lounging around, they're not as comfortable as the old ones we had with the padding and things like that. That's the reason. It's not that they're not comfortable. You just have to be sitting at the table for it not to be uncomfortable, if that makes sense. So yeah, went to Bunnings, got that. That you can actually, I won't lift it up because he'll have to jump off, but you can lift it up, keep all the cushions in there, keep all your backyard supplies in there. So pretty good. So I gave it the same treatment, degrease, and then spray on the Aerospace 303. So hopefully that protects it. It's going to be in the sun. He's out here since we've had it. He's been out here every day, just chilling in the sun, warming up on these cold mornings. So yeah, he's loving it. That one there's like a battery, just doesn't give up. He ain't sitting around in the sun, but the older one, he loves it. So all good. So then I had the nephew over yesterday and did his car. So we washed carpets, washed seats. That's all the rags we went through. So I'm just giving all them a clean. So we're good to go. It's almost finished. Only got another 5 minutes to go. So yeah, I normally do them here because I use this microfiber wash. Sometimes I run them through the washing machine inside if I'm doing another load of some dirty stuff, and then bring them here, and then I'll re-wash them again with the microfiber wash. Just rejuvenates them. Really, really good wash that. I did notice a difference. You may think it's a bit of a gimmick, but I did. I never bought it. It was on special. I thought I'd try it, and it makes your microfibers work a lot better. I think normal dishwashing liquid or detergent used for your clothes clogs up the fibers. This makes them brand new again, so pretty good. This setup for the dogs is working really good. I actually shortened this hose. If you saw it before, this video will come out after that. Yeah, it was coiled up in here, so I've just shortened it. I've kept this hose that I cut, and I'll use it when I get the reverse osmosis set up. As of right now, it's Friday. I haven't got it yet, but you will see it in that montage. I'll tack it on the end of that whatever you want to call it, music video, of me installing it and putting it to use. So yeah, it's a bit back to front, but anyway, all good. But anyway, new toy. So we started playing with this the other day. Oops, that broke. Not just now. We got this one. I'm sick of that thing. Look, it's done its time. It was time for it to go in the bin. So these bottles that they don't even click in. They just literally sit on their own weight. What I'm talking about is this thing. So these just sit in there, and then these don't weigh enough. It leaks everywhere. It's always leaked since day one. I should have really brought it back, but there was no other option. They were the only ones. And you can fill up that tank. I don't know. Let's say it's 1.5 litres. I'm not sure. It really doesn't matter. It's just got some graduations on there, but not in mils or litres. But let's say it's 1.5 litres. So you put 1.5 litres of water in there. You go and do your business and vacuuming. You'll end up with 300 mils of water in that tank. So, or maybe 0.5 litre. So there's 1 litre of water in the carpet still that never got vacuumed up. I don't know if maybe my pump or the vacuum was starting to go faulty, but it's never worked. Well, it's the only one I've had, so I thought that was pretty cool. But since having this one, I only got it yesterday, that's just rubbish compared to this one. It's the same machine, but there's 13 years, probably 15 years difference. That was probably one of the first ones that came out. and this I only just got yesterday. What happened was we were doing my nephew's car. Literally got 2 passes on his front seat, and the whole thing just shattered in my hand. You can see it broken there on the hose, just shattered to pieces in my hand. So you had to rush down to Super Cheap to buy that to finish the job, because his seat was all soaked with water. I hadn't even vacuumed it up yet. So yeah, very flimsy on the handle. The hose is definitely not long enough. Like you cannot keep that on the ground outside the car and do a seat. You have to bring it in the car on the where your feet go, on the footwell, to be able to do the seat. And then because it leaks, there's a massive puddle of water. So it's not suitable at all. So when it broke, I was kind of very happy that it broke. So yeah, me and him went down to Super Cheap yesterday and grabbed this beast. Pretty good. It kind of locks in. I think I'm a bit past the out there. So this is actually the what am I doing wrong? I don't want to force anything, break it, because like I said, it's brand new. There we go. So yeah, it goes in like that, and then that's locked now. You can't lift that up. So that's your wastewater tank. That's your wastewater tank there. And again, holds in, but it has sides on it. So, and I noticed yesterday there was not a drop of water in here, so that works really well. So we're all good there. And then your clean water tank is the same, and same. It's got sides on it, so it can't fall out even if there was a bit of a drop of water in there. But yeah, it didn't leak. You can feel this actually clicks in, so you can hear it, whereas that just sits there with gravity. Just doesn't make sense. New water goes in there, and the only difference is this one does steam, which is what I wanted. I saw a video, another car cleaning guy was doing a video on it about 1.5 years ago probably now, and I thought, well, if that ever breaks, I'm definitely upgrading to the steam one, and glad I did. We did my niece's car with that thing a couple of weeks ago, and her car took, she was saying it is winter here too, but she reckons the seats and the floor was still wet 3 days later. I kind of knew that was going to happen, but she keeps her car inside, so I just said leave the windows down. We did it I think we did it over a weekend anyway, and she doesn't drive it during the week because she's only learning. She doesn't have a full license yet, so she doesn't drive it during the week. So by the time she went to drive it the weekend after, it was fine. But yeah, they said it did take a long time to dry, and that's because the vacuum's so weak on it. It just doesn't suck the water up. Like I said, you put 1.5 litres of water in, and you're getting about 1/2 litre out of it. So the rest of it is just getting sucked away. They're just getting absorbed into the carpet. Whereas this one, pretty much what you put in is what you get out. Plus then you're doing it with steam, so it's hot water all the time. I don't think you can even do it with cold water. No. So it's hot water. Hang on, which way is up? That way. Yeah, so it's off, and then it's water with steam, and then just steam. So I was doing that. I was just flooding the carpet, sucking it up as I go, and even then, because the vacuum's a lot better on this one, it was almost dry. And then you flick it over to just steam, so there's no water coming out, and go through and just steam the carpet, and you're sucking as well. And we did the passenger side, then we went back and did the driver's side, and by the time we'd finished the driver's side, the passenger side was dry, seat and carpet. I was quite shocked actually that you could put that much. We went through about 6 tanks of that, and I reckon that's more than 1 litre. Again, doesn't say, it's just got marks. Yeah, but that's I think either 1 litre or pretty close to. Probably a good idea is not to leave it clicked in, because then that seal is always under stress, so probably only click it in when you're using it. Anyway, yeah, it works really well. It doesn't come with a lot of attachments, it just comes with this big one. Big one works well, the smaller one works better. What did I do with it here? So I think this is just a cap. I think you can use that for steaming maybe, I don't know, because it's got some holes in it, but it might be just a storage cap. And then it comes with this little one. This one works really, really well because you're putting that much suction through such a small area. This worked really well, so really good. That I didn't use, but it's a grout brush, so it's for doing your grout and your tiles in your house. So I will give that a shot one day and see how that goes. But anyway, what I was going to do was set it up, and I was going to do my mouse pad. I haven't done it in a long time, so I'm sure we're going to get some brown water coming out of that from all the sweat from your hand and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll set this up, and it's 30 seconds to produce steam, so I'll put cold water in it, and then I'll switch this back on, and you'll see how quickly it makes water. Sorry, makes steam. Okay, so straight up, this is longer than that no good one, and then this actually has a better handle as well. This goes in for a longer distance, so it's much more stable. And it clicks in, whereas that one has some stupid push button thing. This never came out. That used to come out all the time, so much better there. I haven't turned it on yet, so cold water, you can see there it's not. I didn't cheat and put hot water in because that would be all fogged up otherwise. So that's just stone cold water from the tap, and then we'll put it on. So it's on water spray and steam. 30 seconds it reckons, so we'll let that go. So the water's still cold. And there we go. Got a bit of steam coming through. Give it a bit more. There we go. And steam. And the steam is continuous as well. I might just run inside. There's a bit of steam coming out. I might just run inside and get something to spray on this. Some soap. Or just use this. Or just a bit of dishwashing liquid, I suppose, that'll do. Just rub it around. I hope you can hear me. And you can go so much quicker with this one. So I'm not putting any more water on now, I'm just sucking up what's there. And then So I've flicked it over to steam now. So from yesterday, just got to purge the water out, and then only steam will come out now when you pull the trigger. And you can see there's no more, it's just a couple little bits of water. That's almost dry. Yeah, that's it. That's it. And then to empty it, just lift that up and you can see the, hopefully you can, yeah, you can see the colour of the water there. Pretty gross. So that does a really good job. I wouldn't say it's dry. It's definitely not as dry as the carpet turned out yesterday in the car. This is neoprene, so it's like wetsuit material. So it's holding onto a bit of water, and probably the fact that it's 7 degrees probably doesn't help. But I reckon, 20 minutes of this in the sun, we're going to put it in the sun now. That'll be ready to go back on the computer, whereas before it used to take hours to dry because it was just drenched all the way right through. So we'll just leave it on top of the smoker there in the sun, and that can dry up nicely then. So what I might do actually is put the dog wash thing to use, because I need to rinse it out now and I can't be bothered doing it on the floor. So if I put that there we go. Definitely don't want to get wet. So see that, so that's all together. You just crack it back a bit and it pops off. So we'll rinse that out and see if you can see the water. Yeah, not the nicest. You should have seen the water coming out of my nephew's car. I'm almost 100%. I'll let that heat up. I'm almost 100% sure that somebody had dropped a Coke or something in the car, and a lot of it, because it was all the driver's side wasn't too bad. It was the passenger side, and behind the passenger, I think someone dropped something in the front and it's soaked all the way through to the back, because the right hand side towards the middle of the car wasn't too bad, but the left hand side is a little bit lower. And I went through I think we went through 6 clean water tanks to clean his car. So yeah, fair bit. And it was still, there was still like a brownie non-see, like that was almost see-through what just came out of that. This was like a dark browny red colour. It was almost like the car had been up north in that red dust, but apparently it hadn't, and it wasn't anywhere else on the car either. So that's almost what it looked like, was red dust stained the carpet, but there was no red dust in the engine bay. There was nothing under the car, so I don't think it was. That's it. I think that's all we need to rinse, because this bit's clean. Yeah. You probably should run it through the hose as well. I did it yesterday, but that was only because there was a fair bit of sand and stuff in it. Just clean the head out. I mean, if I get 10 years out of I got probably closer to 15 out of that one. Pretty happy. I mean, I'm bagging it, but they have fixed a lot of the problems that was wrong with that one. Not enough suction, the hose wasn't long enough, and the tanks didn't click in. All addressed on this one. So yeah, when I dropped the nephew off, I'll just turn this hose off. When I dropped him off yesterday, the niece came out, and he told her all about it, how he had to go and buy a new washer. And not that she cares, but I said I'm going to redo her car. So that's just the pressure that's built up in the line. The actual hose is off, the tap's off. That's going to be me this afternoon. I'm going to take the Z out, take my dad for a drive. He's actually just retired. This is his first week. He's just pulled the pin on work and retired. So he's at home today. Well, he's at home forever now. So yeah, I said, we'll go for a drive. Just go up to the bush somewhere, get a coffee. And it would only be, I've had the car since September. So I've had the car 10 months, and it's only the second time he's been in the car, which we're working that out the other day. But it's not my fault. They go on holidays all the time. He was trying to use all his holiday pay up before he retired, and he's used a lot of his sick leave as well. Not for holidays, but yeah. So yeah, he kind of wanted to use. So that's why they were going on a heap of holidays. I think they're going to dial it back a little bit now. So yeah, should be good. He's pretty keen. I'm going to go pick him up at lunchtime. There's a nice place called Yvette's Place. I don't know why it's called Yvette's Place, because there's a dude that runs it. He's pretty quirky cat. You ask him for an extra hot drink, and he'll bring it out to you, and you go, oh, this one's extra cold, and you go, oh no, I want it extra hot. Oh no, sorry, we only do extra cold. He goes, our kettle doesn't go to 100 or something. I don't know what it was, but he's just got a joke for everything. It's pretty funny. I'll leave this. I don't want these to fall off and then crack, and then I've used it once and it's broken. I'll leave them like that. They'll dry in the sun. I'll get rid of that other one later. So all good there. Okay, and that just clicked off as well. So that's had 2 washes. I always do them twice, and then you just put this in here in the sink, and it'll drain all the old water out. Connect that back to that, run some hot water through it, and then just do another quick rinse. It doesn't have to go for, I think this goes for 15 minutes. That way you just rinse all that gunk, the soap out of them. I'll do that a couple times as well. And then you can put them in the basket, basket goes back in here and it goes on a spin cycle and gets rid of most of the, as long as you've got it balanced, you've got to fold the towels up and put them in here pretty good, and then it'll spin dry them kind of thing. It won't dry them as good as your washing machine. It doesn't have that much, it's not that fierce, but yeah, it does not a bad job, gets rid of most of the water. And then just hang them up in the sun and you're done. So I reckon this is going to be, so he hasn't moved. I actually went to, I will go back down. Oh yeah, I don't think well, you would have seen the sink in that the music video clip, that's what I'll call it. But that's working pretty good. So you probably noticed that those soap dispensers weren't level either. That irritated me so much. I couldn't live with it. So I actually came back out in the next morning and fixed it all up. It's still not 100%, but it's a lot closer. They're exactly the same. The brackets are exactly the same. So one would think that you drill the brackets on the back of it that these clip into at the same height, that they would sit exactly level, but they don't. It took me about 3 goes to get this within cooee of that, because there's like a 5mm offset, so I've got it pretty good, and that's as good as it's going to get. So I think you saw me in that clip there. I put dishwashing liquid in here. So I've got 3 different soaps. I know it's overkill, but anyway, so I got 3 in, because this actually stores soap in the sink here, in between. It's got 2 layers, so you can put your soap in there. So that's got dishwashing liquid. Then I've got a heavy duty hand soap in this one, so really good if your hands are ultra greasy. And then I've got a normal hand soap in this one, and easy to fill up. Just pop the lid here and pour more in, and that's it. I've got it, you saw me pointing down here. So yeah, it's just a foot pump. It probably didn't look like it was working too well in that clip, but it's primed through now, so you get a good stream of water, and then it just spits it out straight into that drain there. I'm hoping the reverse osmosis unit comes today. That's going to go there, and possibly here. That's why I kind of bunched these up on this side. So I'll do as much as I can on this board for reverse osmosis, but if something has to go here, then it will go here. Otherwise I'll put something to hang a towel up, or down here I can hang a towel up or something like that. Then this is the 100 litre tank to store reverse osmosis water. And I'm still also waiting on a 240 volt water pump, so that I can pump from that outlet. The pump will probably stay here, and the DI machine might stay here. I'm not 100% sure yet. Like I said, I'm going to use it with just normal garden hoses, find out the best place to put everything, and then I'll convert it to hardline and put some hardline plugs everywhere. Because the reverse osmosis needs somewhere for the wastewater to go. So for every litre of RO water, you're getting rid of almost 2 litres of wastewater. So it needs to go somewhere. So good water will go in there, and bad water down the drain. Some people keep it, but they reckon it's not a good idea to keep it and put it on your plants, because it's a very high concentrated, what's the name? It's wastewater because it's got more minerals in it. So that's what's used to backflush the filters and the RO membrane. So the water that it's spitting out is not tap water. You wouldn't want to drink it. It's got more minerals and more bad stuff in it, more chlorine, everything. So it's not something you'd really want to keep and put on your plants, especially with the parts per million, like 480, almost 500 that we have here. So yeah, it's not something you really want to keep. So, but anyway, I'll explain it more later. Not that I know what I'm talking about. I've never done it before. But yeah, you don't want to keep it. So it is a bit of a waste. But I just don't have I was trying to think last night what I could use it for. We don't really, like, all our plants are succulents. They don't take a lot of water anyway. Plus our grass is plastic, so we don't water the grass, apart from when I clean this back bit here from the dogs. So I kind of justified in my head by, we don't really use a lot of water, but way less than what a normal household of this size, plus there's only 2 people, not 4 people here. So if I waste a bit extra on car cleaning stuff, I can kind of write that off a little bit. But anyway, all good. So yeah, the next time I'll pick the camera up is when we finally get the RO. Today's Friday, so it should, I was kind of thinking it might be here by today, but it's not, but it's early in the morning, so it could come today. But like I said, I'm at 12 o'clock, I'm leaving to go get Dad and go for a drive, so even if it does come today, I'm not going to be home after lunch. It'll be something that I do over the weekend, if it comes today. Officially it says delivery by Monday the 14th, so it's, yeah, it may not get here till Monday. So yeah, but anyway, the next time I pick the camera up is when I've got that. I'll get it kind of installed in that music video. I'll put all that footage in there, and then a quick rundown while it's working for the first time. I'm pretty sure from what I'm reading, it's a half an hour. So you set it all up, but you don't put the actual membrane in, the RO membrane in the filter housing. So that way you flush the filters. I think it's got a carbon and a coconut filter, something like that. Mine's only a 3-stage. You can get 4, 5 and 7 stage. I don't need that for what I'm doing, because the more stages you have, one of those stages is deionized, which I've got a separate tank for deionized, so that I don't need the deionized bit of it. And then all those other stages are adding, like realkalizing your water, so bringing up or down the alkalinity of your water. I can't remember. I don't need it because I'm not drinking it. I may drink it. Mine's perfectly fine to drink. It won't be the proper alkaline rating. And something else. Oh, there's another filter for taste. I don't need any of that because mine's mainly going to be used for what I'm doing with the cars. If it does work out, I don't mind. I probably might even end up buying another unit just for drinking and put it in the house. I've been watching a heap of videos lately on how to install it into your sink and everything. Doesn't look too bad, and these ones come with a tank as well, and a separate tap, faucet, whatever you want to call it. But we have stone bench tops, and there is no way I'm drilling a hole in my bench top to put a tap through it. Our sink is an under bench sink as well, so there's no steel exposed. It's just the sink you see, and there's no stone. There's nowhere you can put a tap. So I don't know really what's going to happen there. It could go in the laundry because we've got a kind of different sink in the laundry, and then that way you just come to the laundry to fill your bottles up. I mean, that's a possibility. Or another possibility is just leave it the way that the car one's going to be, and just set it up outside and fill up a 10-litre bottle, and just keep it inside. You can get like a bench water dispenser and just put RO water in that. Third possibility is just use the car one. I think just keep it simple and just use a car one for that kind of scenario. I reckon that'll work out pretty good. But yeah, like I said, mine's only a 3-stage because that's perfectly suited for cars, because I'm not worried about taste and alkalinity. So, but that is for drinking as well. You can drink that water. It's just not going to be the right alkaline level if you're into that. And I think mine does have a post filter, so it goes through the RO, then it goes through another coconut carbon membrane or filter to get rid of the taste. Not that there should be any taste in it, but it just improves the taste. I think it does have that, so we won't know until we try it. So anyway, we'll just leave it at that. But yeah, I'll see you when we're installing the RO unit. So yeah, catch you in a bit. All right, afternoon everyone. We've got a nice cloudy day today. Good working day. Not even, yeah, it's barely cracking 10 degrees. She feels warmer than that. I don't know, maybe the wind, I don't know. The wind is actually quite cool, maybe that's what that is. But anyway, we've put up the RO unit, as you would have seen in the, what was I calling it? The film clip, the music video. So very, very easy to install. I'll give you a quick rundown on my setup. If you need to go to the toilet for a wee, probably do that now, because we're going to be putting up with this sound for a bit. Yeah, So anyway, we might as well, so that's a quick overview of it there. We might as well start from over here, if I can get down here. It's a bit awkward because the car's here. I can't see any drips of water on the floor, which is good. So I've completely remodeled this the other day. You can see I've only got the tap maybe on half. This will swing out to over here. So yeah, it's only on half, and I think that's enough pressure. Yeah, all good. So the only thing I do need to do is change this one over to a brass fitting. I can't do it while the car's here. I can't be bothered taking the car out, but I do have the brass fitting. Went to Bunnings over the weekend. That's the only one that leaks when in use. All these two don't leak. So what I've done, I've kind of replumbed it. This is a much better option than that other two-way thing. Two-way wasn't going to be enough anyway, so that's why I went to three-way. But the one with these valves should be good. So what I've done, so you can see this middle hose is the hose that I'm running to my reverse osmosis machine at the moment. So the water is coming obviously from this tap down and feeding water this way. It's important later on, and that's why I'm saying it. Of course, water goes that way, but it's not. It's going to go backwards in a minute. So yeah, before I start on that, so that water that's getting used right now is going through these filters. So we've got a sediment, 5 micron, Carbonex filter, and an FT3 filter, which takes out chlorine, calcium, things like that. So the water I'm using for my RO unit is already filtered here. Then it's getting filtered over with the filters that it came with. Then it's going through a deionized tank. Then it's going on the cars. So back to here. Yeah, so what we got is this first hose. You can see the colour of it there, feeds my pressure washer. So we're all good there. I managed to find a 90 degree so that this hose isn't sticking out over here like it used to. I may keep searching, but this is not really in the way. So I might just leave this one as it is. Oh, and I've got the vibration meter on there as well. Keep a track of hours. I think it was every 150. It needs an oil change. So that's a good way of keeping on top of that. Someone did suggest that again, Jocko or Mick. Might have been Jocko, I think. That was a long time ago. This video was probably a month after you suggested that, and I finally got it on there. So thanks for that. So yeah, so this tap feeds my pressure washer. This tap, all that does is feed my hose reel up there, which probably won't get used now because of the way I've hooked it up. The only time that'll get used is to water the garden, and that's it. Won't need that for car washing anymore. So what we've got is water. Right now, water is coming through this tap, down here, feeding my RO machine, making RO water. Let's go and look at that. So that way it's all in order. Of course, Dexter has to come down and see what's going on. So that's the hose. So hose. I've got this kind of janky setup because that's all I had that had this thread to accept this thread. So this white bit comes with the RO machine. This is the only thing I had with this thread on it, which works out pretty good actually, because I've been stopping and starting it to flush filters out. So instead of walking all the way over there, I've been able to do it here. So this might stay. That actually works pretty well. So water in to here. I've covered up the label, but it's some type of filter. I think it's a carbon. I can't really see it, and I don't want to go spinning it around and causing a leak, but I'm pretty sure it's some sort of carbon filter, which is also a sediment filter in one. So you can see there it goes, in, through here, through the RO unit. So I first flushed it without the membrane in there, so that was just empty. And the water was black, like carbon black, all in here. So that's why they're saying to flush it without that in there. And it said to do it for a minute. I did it for 5 until the water was running clear after a minute, but I just did it for 5, just give it a good flush out. Then I turned everything off, opened this up, slipped in the membrane. You got to push it in. There's like 2 hose fittings or like O-rings that need to fit down here. So yeah, that's all in, and then screwed this back on, nip it up with your tool. All good. So then we're going, so yeah, in, out. And I'm pretty sure because it has those 2 O-rings, it's diverting wastewater and it's diverting clean water. So clean water comes out of this one, goes through a secondary filter, granule activated carbon, GAC, comes out, and that goes into my tank. And you can hear the flow rate, it's quite a lot actually. I didn't think it'd be that much, I thought it would be a drip. But you can see it there, it's pretty good. So we will test that later, the TDS on that, we'll do that later. Wastewater comes underneath here, you can see it there. So that'll be the second O-ring, goes through some kind of flow 300 valve, I don't know what that means, and then comes out here, and I'm just getting rid of the wastewater there. Again, we'll test the TDS coming out of that. I reckon it's going to be quite high. So yeah, all good. And then from this tank, so that's going to be my 100. That's 100 litres. I reckon that's going to be plenty enough to do multiple cars, not just one car. It's only for the final rinse. You don't use it for everything. So I think that's going to be enough. So then I got all this hooked up over the weekend. I don't think I filmed anything, but all good. It's quite simple. It looks complicated, but it's not. So the water comes out of here. You turn this valve on. Water comes out through that hose, through my pump, pumps it through the DI machine. Then that's where the trickery comes in. So all this hose does is if I want to fill up a bucket, I can turn this valve to off, the bottom valve for this hose on, and I can just fill up a bucket of deionized water. I've got a steam cleaner. I just bought it the other week, a carpet extraction machine which has steam in it. So ideally you should be using this water, deionized 0 TDS water in there. Your iron for ironing your clothes. I've got a 5 litre spray pump pack that I use to rinse my missus's car off in the morning when it's all fogged up, and saves her going around with a finger and cleaning the windows and the mirrors. I just quickly go around. Because it's TDS, it leaves no water spots. Same thing for the shower. I haven't done it yet because I haven't cleaned the shower properly, but when I get all the calcium off the glass, then whoever has a shower last rinses it with deionized water. So when that needs filling, you just come here and fill it. So easy as. Otherwise, you turn this valve off, this valve on. You connect this hose, which is going to be permanently mounted in the garage, and I'll just take it out when I need it, to here. So now it's getting pressure that way. Then we go back this way. So then when you want to rinse, you turn this hose, this tap goes to the off position, so nothing can go that backwards, which is probably not going to go anyway. And now all of a sudden you've got deionized 0 TDS water coming up here. So this valve's on, that valve's off, this valve's off, this valve is on. So this feeds your pressure washer. So now you've got 0 TDS water going through your pressure washer. I turn the pressure. I've already tested all this because I had just normal water in that tank on the weekend, and I tested it. All works fine. So then that way you're rinsing your pressure washer with 0 TDS water. Good for the machine. Then you're using the hose that you already have out from your pressure washer to rinse your car. And I got one of these tips. Cars with Kiev. I can't remember his name. Recommended these. They work really well. They put out a bit of pressure, but enough pressure to rinse. You don't need this on. Whether you have this on or off, it makes really no difference to the pressure because the nozzle is so big. It comes with some different screens as well, so I may even put it on the smaller screen. That way you just increase the pressure a little bit, but your flow is still there. So yeah, I mean, you've only got to take the one hose out. Originally I was going to connect it so that way that hose reel was going to be 0 TDS water for the final rinse, but then that would require getting that hose out to rinse your car. And then if you've gone and watered the garden and that hose reel is full of just normal water, then you've got to have to flush it out for a while. Probably won't take a lot, but yeah, you have to kind of give it, I don't know, 30 seconds to flush all the water that's out in the hose to then get the 0 TDS water coming through. It's still going to be the case for this hose, but this hose is a lot thinner. I don't know what the ID is, but the outside diameter is a lot thinner than a garden hose. So I think that's the setup. I think that's going to work. I know the pump, I know everything works. It's just the TDS readings now, so that's what we're going to do. That's been going for long enough, so there's going to be lots of readings, so bear with us. I'm not going to write anything down, but it'll be in this video as a record. So what we'll do first is we'll go to the only tap in the house that is unfiltered water, and it's not even going through those big blue filters in the garage. That's this tap here. So let's have a look at this. Right, so we will flush it out. Just flush the hose out because this water's been sitting in the hose for a long time. Yeah, so we got this tap converted to go back to unfiltered tap house city water, just so that when we're watering the garden water is not going through the filters and we're not wasting money. Okay, so that should be enough. So we have, turn this on. There you go, 380. That was actually higher than that last time I checked it. Maybe because I flushed the hose out pretty good. So anyway, we got 379. So let's call that 380 for unfiltered house water. Oh, then we'll go inside and test the tap water coming out of the kitchen. Okay, from memory this wasn't much different, even though it's going through filters. Yep, 365. So it's just knocked a bit of the big sediment out, but the rest of it is probably all the minerals that those filters don't take out. So not a massive difference, 365 there. So at that parts per million, my DI resin won't last. It won't last at all. You'll probably get 30 washes out of it. So yeah, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. All of this RO system is to make the DI resin, being pretty expensive. It's about $140 I think to refill that canister there with resin. By doing this, it's going to make it last. Rather than putting 400 or 380, 360 actually, it'll be 365 TDS level water through there. It's only going to be putting through what we're about to test now. I have nowhere to put any. Hopefully this balances. You might have to bear with us. So what we'll do is we'll test the wastewater coming out. I reckon that'll be pretty interesting. That's going to be quite high, I think. There you go, 615, 630, 633, and I didn't rinse it. I probably should have rinsed it. Should rinse it with the water that you're testing. Yeah, 618, same. So, or 633 I just saw. The deeper you push this, you do get a bit of a different reading. Alright, I'll just rip the lid off this thing. I'm going to have to hold it and hold the camera. So definitely we'll be rinsing this a couple times because I don't want any false readings. Bear in mind this has only been running for, well, since I've been making this video, so however long you guys have been watching for, 15 minutes if that. Okay. And we get 28. So from 365 to 30. So massive difference. Yeah, 28. I reckon it'll get better as the it should get better than that as it runs for a bit longer. So yeah, anyway, I might leave this video going just for a little bit longer, and we'll come out when this thing's almost finished, like in a few hours time, and we'll test it again. But even at 28 parts per million TDS, you're still going to get water spot. I think you need under 5. That'll take it down to 0. So, but you know, you're better off putting, even if it was 30 all the time, which it may be, I don't know, maybe our water is really hard and that's as much as that system can take out, and it only gets it down to 30. 30 is a lot better than 365. So that is going to last like 10 times longer than not doing this setup. So, and this setup costs the same amount of money as one refill for that at $150, because it was let's say 2 refills, sorry, because wasn't including the pump was 100, the tank was 100, and that was 100. Let's just round figures from memory. That was 92, the RO setup. So yeah, roughly numbers, $100 for everything, so $300. So two things, but from memory that was 92. That was 90, and the pump was 100 from eBay. That was from Stratco, and that was from eBay. Plus, you're going to need some hose and some fittings. I was pretty lucky. I didn't, bar one hose fitting. Oh no, and that fitting was to replace the garden hose. So that is, I had everything here, and I had a few spares, and you can see none of the hose really matches and stuff like that. That's for that reason, because I had it all here. I just cut up bits and pieces that I needed. And that's it. So yeah, this hose will stay as is, like that. I've already hung this up the other day, so when it's finished it'll just get wound up in here and you can close the door. Right now I can't close the door. And it came with a lot more white hose. I was going to make that go to the bottom, so that way it fills from the bottom and you don't get this noise. But I think the smart thing to do is leave it like that, because I can actually hear this noise from inside the house, and this door will be open most of the time when I'm doing it. So if you don't hear that noise, that means the water level is up. I've kind of set this where I want the top of the water to be, so I don't really want to fill it up much past that. So when this starts getting a bit quiet, that means come outside, because the tank's almost full. So that will be my audible tank water level indicator, if that makes sense. Yeah, that I think we'll keep going with that. But yeah, don't be scared of that thing. That's super simple. 20 minutes to put it all together, and that was me including strapping it to this and cut. It took me longer to do this than to set the whole thing up. So it works really well. I don't even want to taste that water, being 700-800 TDS. I haven't tasted the RO water yet, but I will later. Like I said, when this is almost full, we'll come back and check it, and that's when I'll have the first taste, and we'll see if it's any lower than the 30 parts per million with the TDS there. But anyway, yeah, we'll see in a bit. Okay, so it's been 2.5 hours, so we'll go and check it. Just thought I'd show you this. The door actually does close with the hose still running out there, so pretty good. I've done a couple little updates, so yeah, you can see there. So yeah, no dramas. That closes, so we can. I probably wouldn't leave this running if I'm not here, just in case you either get a burst here or a burst down there. You're going to come home to a flooded garage. So yeah, I'd only ever do this if I'm here, just to keep an eye on it. I've also opened this window so I can actually hear it from in the house. It's getting a bit quieter now because she's starting to fill up. So halfway, probably a bit more than halfway in there. So I'd say 5 hours to fill it up, probably not even. So pretty good there. I had a quick taste of that. I just put some on my fingers and tasted it. That's like salt water. It's really gross. So yeah, I wouldn't go drinking that. I wouldn't even. They reckon it's a bad idea even just to put it on your plants. It's not. That's why it's going down the drain. Yeah, it's not really suitable for anything really. Another thing I've just done is put a overflow. So you can see this one is up near the ridge here. This one's just below it, just so in case I forget. I guarantee it's going to happen because I've got a bit of a rep for leaving stoves running, leaving hoses running, leaving fridges open and cupboards open. So yeah, just in case, it's going to run out here. It won't be any more pressure than what's coming out of there. I've just used a bigger hose to make it a bit easier. So that's just a bit of hot glue just to keep the hose down. But yeah, in case I forget, worst case scenario, you're just wasting water, but it's not flooding everywhere here. So yeah, all good. Let's check the TDS. We'll check the wastewater and the new stuff, and see what we get. We'll do this good water first. How did I do this last time? Like that. I've tasted it. It's really nice. Probably some of the best tasting water I've ever had. So we're down to 23, 24. So I think it was 28 last time, so we've lost a little bit. So it's probably not going to get any better than that. But yeah, like I said, that's way lower than what I was putting through my DI before. Oh, and then this is the wastewater, 654. You can see that, 655. So that is almost double, which would make sense, because really you should be. It is. I was just reading about it. It's a 1-to-1. So whatever. That's why this is almost the same speed as that. Probably very similar. It's a 1-to-1 waste to harvest setup. So you can get ones that are 2-to-1. So it'll waste twice as much as what it harvests. But I think it's like a bit. It takes more stuff out of it. It's got more filters and stuff. So this setup is a 1-to-1. So 100 litres here means 100 litres down the drain, which means 600 odd, or 600 and whatever, 60 that we're getting there. And normally I think this makes sense. So you're getting 660 there, and we're getting 300 and, 380 here. The difference is the 28 or 30 ppm left over at the end of the day there. So I think that's how it works. So yeah, your normal drinking water is 380. We're getting double that because we're taking almost all of it out. So that's where the rest of the TDS is going. And I suppose that's that difference in number is the bit left over is what these filters are taking out in the end and staying in there. But this system does get flushed as well, so that's why it's all coming out. So I think that makes sense. That's just my brain, how I work things out. But anyway, yeah, we'll just leave it. I've definitely got enough in there to wash a car at the moment. I might just give it a little bit more. It won't be happening in this video because I want to make sure it all works and everything first before I go filming a video and it leaves water spots. I don't think it's going to leave water spots because it's definitely going to be 0 TDS coming out of the deionized water there. It's only got to go from 28 or 24. That was. Yeah, it's only got to drop 24 TDS to go through that deionized water machine there, or tank. So it's definitely going to be able to do that because it did do it. I tried it once. It did it at 380. So it's just going to do it for a lot longer without having to change your resin. But yeah, I just want to make sure there's no leaks, like off camera. Want to make sure there's no leaks. There's no leaks in this bit, but I want to make sure there's no leaks pretty much from the tank to the pump to the deionized tank and then out again. I want to make sure there's like 0 leaks, make sure it's all working good. Yeah, and that's it. And a bit of a fluke, there are 2 different types of pumps and I've ended up with the right one. So that pump there senses the pressure, the back pressure. So if you're not squeezing the gun to rinse your car off, you undo it, it'll run for a little bit, it'll sense the pressure and then switch a pump off. It's not a constantly running pump. And then when you hit it again, the pump comes, when pressure drops, the pump comes back on and off you go. So yeah, really lucky there. They didn't mention anything about it in the write-up, I don't think. But yeah, that's how it works. So I'm going to have it plugged in. I've got the power cable just sitting there, but I've got a extension cord ready to go. I just chuck over the door when I need to use it, and it just plugs in over there. My next option, if it was a constant run pump, my next option was to run an extension cord pretty much from here and go that way because I've got a power point over there, and I'll just flick it on and rinse, and then when I'm finished rinsing, you just flick it off. That was going to be my next option for that setup, but that didn't have to go that way. So that worked out quite well with that setup. Future improvements will probably be a level indicator on this somehow, whether I do it electronically, I have seen you can get wireless tank level monitor or water level monitors. I don't really want to spend $50 to do it. I think really the only thing it needs is the only thing is I don't want to go drilling holes in it, because that's how you're going to get leaks. So that option was drill a hole here and drill a hole down the bottom, and then put a clear tube to join it so you can see the water level. You can even chuck a little red ball in there or whatever, so you can see the water level in there. That was one option. Another option is to drill a hole in the lid and have a pipe that's opened at the bottom, and then another pipe that fits inside it that floats on the water level. That's another option. You probably want something quite light. I don't know. I've never made anything like that. I might look into it. I just don't want to have too many holes in this. This is really tight. There's nothing going to get in there. Same with this one, and it's kind of under the rim, so no dust is going to get in, because obviously that's going to affect your TDS. But it's no drama if it does, because then it goes through that and brings it to 0. This is not 0, it's 28 TDS water. Once it goes through there, it's 0. So yeah, it's not an issue really. But it would be nice just to have a glance and go, oh, I've got so much water in there, without having to take this lid off and go, I'm not sure. So yeah, that would be handy. Possible future upgrade. I'll live with it. I'll see how much I use per car, because if that's full and then I only use down to here for a car and I've got enough to do 4 cars, I don't really care how much water's in there. As long as I have a glance in and it's more than half, then I'm good to go. Yeah, so it's not a big issue at all. I can't see it using 100 litres to rinse a car. There's no way. I don't even think you'd use 50 litres. I don't reckon you'd use half of that. That pump is 7 litres a minute, I think. It's upside down. Open flow is 7 litres a minute, and I reckon you'd rinse a car in 3 minutes, if that. So it's 21 litres. I don't think it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna. And plus, I'm restricting it. That's open flow straight out of the pump. I'm putting it through that nozzle, which is then restricting it even more. So I don't know. But like I said, I'm going to use it a couple times off camera. Then once I get the process dialed in and no leaks and no mucking about, then I'll film it. I'll film one, a car wash. There's probably no point doing it on this because you'll only see the water spot on the window. This has got a black roof, so yeah, I can see water spot now actually from the last time it got washed. So obviously you don't get everything, but yeah, if it's going to show, it's going to show on the black roof, plus on this window. This is all just solid black all around here, plus you'll see it there. But this car's been screaming for a wash for the last couple of weeks. It's got bugs and stuff all over it. Went for a nice drive last weekend, so yeah, definitely want to get stuck into that. I might do that today. That might happen pretty soon today as a tester. My dad's coming around in the afternoon, so I might even do his car. Yeah, this only got done not long ago, and my missus' car got done not long ago. Plus it sleeps outside, so I don't do that one as often. All 3 cars are ceramic coated. My dad's isn't, so that'll be a good little thing to see if it makes a difference on a ceramic coated car to a non-ceramic coated car. That is the replacement for the plastic one down there. And then I do have another one of these stop connectors, which it just allows you to undo your hose gun without turning the water off, and the water stops straight away as soon as you undo your hose gun, change your fittings, whatever you want, and then as soon as you plug something in, it's back to water flow. Really cool. I didn't know these even existed, so pretty cool. This thing here, I was looking at maybe hanging it up. I don't know how I'm going to do it, because obviously the door is up when I'm washing a car. So yeah, I don't know, it might have to go on the bricks on the outside, and then I can clip my hose to that way the hose is kind of in the air up to there, because currently what happens when I go around the car this way, washing a car that's out there, it keeps hitting this car, and it's a pain. The big heavy stainless or steel braided hose from the pressure washer keeps hitting this car. Not hard, it's not causing any damage, but eventually it will. So I'm just thinking it might be better to try and get it up and then go down after here. So yeah, I'll probably look at something like that. I'm not sure yet. Also, another thing I was thinking of was getting rid of this hose reel completely, because that all we're going to use that for now is watering the couple of plants that I have outside. So what I might do actually is take that off the wall, get rid of it completely, which will free up a valve down there. I'll just have a spare valve, it's no big issue. Put that outside around the corner. That way, because I do have another tap right around the other side of the house. And then I'll probably still keep the reel in the garage here. I won't keep it outside because somebody will walk off with it 100%. They're quite easy just to detach. So you just pull a pin, pull a rod, and then you can take that off and the mount stays outside there. So I think that's what I'll do, and I'll just keep it around the back here. It's no dramas. And then when you want to water the plants, I pretty much don't water the plants in winter. So for 6 months, 8 months of the year, the plants out there don't get hand watered. It's only during summer. So yeah, I might just do that. I may even, another thing that's possible, it would be better to put it on, to keep it mounted outside and not have to bring it in and connect it all the time, is to put it on just on the other side of the gate, up high. That way it's behind the gate, no one can get to it, and then you just have to plug it to the hose, to the tap that's out there, pull it all out, and off you go. You're good to go then. But yeah, it's taking up space in here that I don't really need it in here. It doesn't have to be in here, and then that will free up that space to then get this thing, which I just got from Bunnings, another hose hanger, and then my pressure hose will have somewhere better to hang rather than on the over the hose reel like it currently is. So yeah, that'll fix a lot of problems by getting rid of that, something I don't really need here anymore. Yeah, because I just don't need it. You can use the pressure washer hose for doing everything related to car cleaning rather than a garden hose. Don't need it anymore. So yeah, but yeah, I'm not going to rush into that. That'll be a future job down the line when I get bored doing something. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to just leave this go. Yeah, so 2.5 hours to get it, probably over half. So I reckon about 5 hours, 4.5, 5 hours, it should be all done. There's no leaks coming out of this this machine here. It all came assembled actually. I kind of lost the footage. I did film it, but I deleted it by mistake. Pulling it out of the box, it all came like this. The only hose connection, or the only connections I had to do was this one, and this one on the longer hoses, but all these little short bits were all done. So yeah, very easy. It took me 20 minutes to get it all up and running, and 15 minutes of that was mucking around with these straps and putting it on that thing and all that. If all you did was rip it out of the box and wanted to get it running loose, you know, like on a table or whatever, 5 minutes. It's not hard at all. Yeah, so very easy. Yeah, anyway, I think we'll leave it at that. It's going to work, I think. I'm pretty sure that's going to work. So yeah, I think we'll leave it at that. We'll use it a few times, and then I'll get back to you with an update video washing a car. So all good. Thanks for the help. We'll see you guys in the next one.